Now at 10, what the planned construction of a soybean crushing facility could mean for Southeast Kansas jobs. Plus, a federal judge strikes down a Missouri medical marijuana rule, and
many Kansans struggle to get affordable health care, and now people are working to change this. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with One Parsons Family and why they're speaking up to expand Medicaid.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A $300 million soybean processing facility is on its way to Southeast Kansas. This is KOAM News at 10. KOAM's Chris Warner tells us where it's going and the benefits it could bring to the region.
The Bartlett Company announced they received approval from the Montgomery County Board of County Commissioners to receive county-issued industrial revenue bonds to help build a $300 million soybean crushing facility in the county. That new development opens a number of opportunities for local farmers and for job seekers.
As far as jobs in the construction side of it, they're talking anywhere from 125 to 130 jobs is the way they see it right now. And full-time employment after that will be 50 employees, permanent employees with Bartlett.
Jim Kelly, the interim director of the Montgomery County Action Council, says MCAC worked with Bartlett and the commission to get the bonds issued and help bring the facility to the county.
The county and the residents of the county have no obligation to pay these bonds back. The obligation is on the company, but this facilitates financing.
As we mentioned, Bartlett is building a soybean crushing facility. Bob Knief with the Savage Company, which Bartlett is a part of, explains what a soybean crushing plant does.
They will bring in soybeans from local farmers, from local agribusinesses, and take those beans and process them into soybean oil and soybean meal.
Those crushed soybeans then become products used across the country.
So soybean oil for the renewable fuels industry, for the food industry, and soybean meal primarily for the feed industry.
The facility will be located south of Cherryvale in an unincorporated part of Montgomery County. That means infrastructure improvements to short-line rail will be needed. Those improvements, plus what the plant will produce, could have far-reaching benefits for the county.
That could draw some other industry into the county just because of what's here with the soybean oil and the potential biodiesel and everything affiliated with that.
In Independence, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Bartlett hopes to begin construction early next year and have the plant completed by 2024. Checking in with Doug Eddy. We have some rain on the way, Doug.
We do. We've had some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, mainly on the Kansas side throughout the evening hours, but these have rolled out, and we're going to get additional thunderstorms once again later on tonight. But today actually turned out to be a pretty good day. Average high 72. We hit 79 for a high. Started out kind of chilly, all the way down to 48 during the morning hours. All right, you can see the cluster lifting north and east and mainly toward Rich Hill and north. Near Kansas City at this point in time. So we are fine right now, but we do have more thunderstorms and they're out to the west, and those will start to affect us later on tonight. And then as we head into the morning hours tomorrow, you can see this big line out across central and western parts of Kansas. This is going to drive across the state and give us showers and thunderstorms in here later on tonight. I think the next couple hours are okay. Then we'll start to get some scattered little showers in here after midnight, and then that bigger line will arrive mainly after 5 or 6 o'clock early in the morning hours. We're going to break down the next few days for you coming up here in just a bit.
We'll catch you then. Federal judge has permanently blocked Missouri from enforcing a requirement that medical marijuana licenses go only to businesses owned by Missourians. When Missourians voted to legalize medical marijuana in 2018, came with a rule that only those who have been citizens of Missouri for at least a year can be majority owners. Federal judge ruled in June that that provision was unconstitutional, and now that judge has made the injunction permanent. With Missouri recently beginning their Medicaid expansion, those still needing coverage in nearby states like Kansas are looking to close the coverage gap. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with a Parsons, Kansas family struggling to find coverage and a policy expert who explains what closing this gap could mean for uninsured Kansans.
Michael Priesmeyer has multiple disabilities such as severe ADHD and low IQ. Despite this, he doesn't qualify for Social Security disability insurance ADA, or Kansas Medicaid, leaving him without coverage.
It's like a slap in the face. You know, it's just been, it's not been a very good experience.
But then we can't get the medicine because we can't get a medical card. We can't get a medical card because he doesn't qualify for either Social Security disability then he doesn't qualify for the ADA.
Now, he and his adopted mother are speaking out to ask Kansas legislators to expand Medicaid.
There's more people than just Michael out there in this vicious circle.
This circle is something senior policy analyst at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities says is known as the coverage gap.
So people in the coverage gap, they're making too much money to get Medicaid, but also not enough money to go onto healthcare.gov, the marketplace option. They're not able to get subsidies on the marketplace because as originally envisioned through the Affordable Care Act, people were going to be getting Medicaid coverage. But again, those states that decided not to expand Medicaid don't have that option. Kansas is now one of 12 states.
Right now, state GOP lawmakers are opposed to the expansion due to the price, and there is no current action being taken to expand. But in neighboring states like Missouri, Medicaid expansion has already started, which is why Michael and Vicky say they're speaking out to demand action in Kansas.
It's hard enough for me to deal with this stuff without medication, so I know the feeling now because I'm going through it. I just don't want someone like me going through the same thing.
In Parsons, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Now, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, nearly a quarter of non-elderly adult Medicaid enrollees had a disability and still did not qualify for Medicaid through SSI. Some Carterville, Missouri residents have an issue with the city's handling of its water system, and tonight they showed up at the city council meeting to let the city know about it. Residents are calling on the city to bring in Missouri American Water to take over. The mayor says they have not been approached with an offer from Missouri American Water. Nothing was decided at tonight's meeting. The next Carterville City Council meeting is scheduled for November 15th. Still ahead, a new report shows a record number of Americans leaving their jobs. And the U.S. House votes on whether to increase the debt ceiling and avoid what could be an economic crisis. More Americans than ever before are quitting their jobs. A record 4.3 million people left their jobs in August. It's according to the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey report. It's just shy of 3% of the workforce, the highest quit rate since the report began in 2000. Most of the people who left were in accommodation and food services, wholesale trade, and state and local government education. And companies are facing a serious worker shortage. The report found there were more than 10 million job openings at the end of August. The House has voted to increase the federal debt limit until December 3rd, temporarily avoiding what could have been an economic crisis. The White House says President Biden will sign the measure when it reaches his desk. Now Congress has less than 2 months to come up with a longer-term solution for the debt ceiling. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
The House has passed a measure to temporarily raise the debt ceiling by $480 billion into early December.
The costs we've incurred on behalf of the American people must be paid.
You want to continue to take more money from working class Americans by putting in debt their kids and grandkids.
Last week, the U.S. Senate approved the measure along party lines after Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Democrats negotiated a short-term fix. A temporary debt ceiling increase gives Democrats more time to focus on moving both that bipartisan infrastructure bill and a much larger social spending measure across the finish line. President Biden has lowered his price range on the Build Back Better Act from $3.5 trillion down to around $2 trillion.
I'm very disappointed that we're not going with the original $3.5 trillion. If there are fewer dollars to spend, there are choices to be made.
The move is meant to win over party moderates, but the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal, tweeted Tuesday, "People all across America delivered us the House, the Senate, and the White House. We should be doing everything possible in this moment to deliver for them while we still can."
Congressional Democrats continue to push for a bipartisan long-term solution to raising the debt ceiling, while Republicans say Democrats should do so on their own using the process of reconciliation. Today, the Food and Drug Administration authorized e-cigarette products for the first time ever. The FDA is giving R.J. Reynolds permission to sell 3 of its Vuse vape products while denying permission for 10 of the company's flavored products. The 3 authorized products are all tobacco flavored, and the FDA says they are less likely to appeal to children and teens. The agency emphasized in a statement that the authorization does not mean the products are safe or FDA approved. It went on to say the approved vape products could benefit addicted adult smokers who switch and either completely or significantly reduce cigarette consumption. Finally, the agency reiterated that all tobacco products are harmful and addictive, and those who don't use them should not start. The young victim of a house fire has been picked to lead the Miami, Florida Police Department for the day. Miami, Florida Police today hosted a breakfast for their new chief, T.J. Mack. The 5-year-old and his mother were severely injured in a house fire in April. T.J.'s mom died from her injuries while T.J. suffered burns on 22% of his body. He was just recently released from the hospital, and he's been undergoing surgeries and physical therapy since the tragedy. The child takes over the police department one day after the police chief, Art Acevedo, was suspended, and city officials announced that they plan to fire him. The interim chief, Manny Morales, did make an appearance at TJ's breakfast. Later, it's rivalry night on the basketball court. Missouri Southern taking on Pitt State. We'll have the highlights in sports.
Plus, we're going to have some more thunderstorms rolling into the region as we go through the overnight hours tonight. We're going to break that down coming up. Most of us have been dry today and partly sunny skies. Pretty good day, actually. Temperatures into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. But we did get some scattered thunderstorms on the Kansas side through the evening hours, and then those kind of shifted north of the region now in the Kansas City metro area. But additional showers and thunderstorms will start to work in later on tonight. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Here's that batch I was talking about, scooting northeast, but we did have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings with it earlier this evening. Now everybody is dry for now, but we are going to start to see some changes working in again later on tonight. You can see a few spotty little guys trying to pop up, and we are going to get some spotty thunder showers in here in 2 or 3 hours, and then lasting into the overnight hours for us tonight. Right now we look good. 7th and range line currently sitting at 70, south winds at about 10, humidity relative at 59%. All the big action this afternoon and evening has been out across Oklahoma and parts of Kansas. We've had a couple supercells that have produced some large tornadoes, and then right behind that, this big line of showers and thunderstorms. This is going to roll in. It's going to take its time before it even makes it here. It's still, 8-9 hours away. So most of the night, we're not going to have to deal with this, and it will start to weaken as it moves in over the next few hours. Here's the storm system causing this that is going to lift into the northern parts of the plains as we go into the next couple days. Let's break down tonight. Scattered thunderstorms start to pop up. This is after midnight. These are going to be hit and miss. A few of them could be a little bit stronger. Not expecting much in the way of severe weather with these after midnight tonight. Once we get to 4, 5, 6 in the morning, that big line out west starts to sneak in. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe. I don't think a lot of severe weather, but a few of them could be. If we have any severe weather, the main threat here is going to be hail and wind as this line drives in. I also think it's going to weaken as it gets closer to the Kansas-Missouri state line, but I still think we're going to get some strong showers and thunderstorms through the morning hours. It continues to work east. We'll start to dry out on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. And then by the afternoon, I think most of us will be dry. We'll get a little bit of sunshine, and we should shoot into the upper 70s once again, very similar to what we did see today. Tomorrow night, showers, few thunderstorms, non-severe, try to sneak right back in late tomorrow night into Thursday. And then this will pull off toward the east. We'll dry out for a little bit, and then we do it again. Thursday night, heading into Friday morning, we'll start to see some showers and thunderstorms sneaking back in. Once we get through Friday, then we're going to get to dry out for just a little bit. But a lot of areas we could pick up 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 inches of rain in spots as we go through the next couple days, which we could use a little bit of rain. And the good news is it's gone by the weekend. 78 tomorrow. 76 Thursday, 65, cooling down. It's going to feel like fall this weekend. 68 Saturday, 75 on Sunday. Nice weekend to get outside, do some outdoor activities, but we got a couple days of scattered thunderstorms first.
Loving those temps, sunshine for the weekend. What's to complain about?
I can't ask for it anymore.
Sounds pretty good. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, we're going to hear from the Chanute football team on what kickstarted their 5-game winning streak. Plus, it's rivalry night part 2 for Pitt State and Missouri Southern volleyball. Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more next.
Well, tonight is rivalry night part 2 for Pitt State and Missouri Southern volleyball. The Gorillas and Lions meet in Pittsburgh this evening for their second and final time in the regular season. Pitt State aims for the season sweep over Southern after winning in Joplin earlier this year. Hope White, pretty athletic, all right, gets the kill there for Pittsburgh State. Set point, Kayla Nigenfine there for the big block. Gorillas take the first set 25-14. Second set, Pitt State continues to roll. That's Meg Otten. She gets a team-high 13 kills. Kate Bandry later in the second set gets a kill of her own. Gorillas take set 2, 25-13. Now set 3, Southern trying to stay alive. Armeni Perales puts this one down. Pittsburgh State, though, never let the Lions back in it. Gorillas win in straight sets to get to 7-0 at home and sweep the season series from Missouri Southern.
Last year was an off year for everyone, and we weren't beating the teams that we felt that we necessarily should. And so to come out and, both times that we play them, win, it feels really good.
I think at home, it's great. This is what we needed to do. We need to take kind of care of business, and I think that any time that we can win in 3, we'll take it.
The Chanute Blue Comets have been on a roll on the football field, and the Comets' defense has been a big part of that. Chanute has pitched 3 straight shutouts and won 5 games in a row since dropping their season opener to the Circle Thunderbirds. The head coach Clete Frizzell says that first loss was a wake-up call and a big reason for the team's success over the last month.
I think we were a little overconfident going into game 1, and we didn't do the little things right. And, when you don't do the little things right, bad things happen. And it's pretty much what happened the first game of the year. So it was a great wake-up call for us, and I think it's propelled our season in the right direction.
Today is the unofficial start of the MIAA basketball season, with the league holding its annual media day in Kansas City. Both the Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern men's and women's teams made the trip up north today. On the women's side, here's a look at the MIAA preseason coaches poll released today. Pitt State is picked to finish 7th in the MIAA, while Missouri Southern a couple spots behind them at number 9. Now, the Lions return 8 players from last year's team, with 6 of them having some starting experience in college. They'll be leaning on those experienced players, aiming for their first winning season since 2016.
Our upperclassmen have done an unbelievable job of explaining and showing what it takes as far as to be able to compete and play at the college level. They've done a great job of communicating that as well. Day in, day out, with not only in our workouts, but on their own as far as when they get in the gym and get shots up, they understand that we can't go half speed. When you're getting shots up, you got to go full speed. So our returning kids on the floor, in the weight room, and even in the classroom, and explaining what it takes to be a college athlete, how you got to take care of yourself, both mentally and physically, they've done a great job of it.
This is what the men's coaches poll looks like. The Missouri Southern Lions are picked to finish 4th, while Pitt State is picked to finish 8th. Gorillas returned 4 starters from last season's team that went 10-12 overall. After COVID-19 kind of messed with the offseason last year, Pitt State has used this offseason to get closer and build a little team chemistry ahead of their winter schedule.
Last year was hard because you really couldn't do much together as a team. You had to kind of stay away from each other. And this year, this fall, we've been able to do a lot of neat things. We're really good at bowling, if anybody wants to bowl. We took the guys to Lake of the Ozarks and watched them fish. That was good. But really, we've done some more things together, some community service stuff, and so that, I know it's not normal, but it's almost like normal, and I think that's been invigorating for our guys.
You can check out our coverage from earlier tonight and hear from the Pitt State women and Missouri Southern men on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Lance Corporal Chad Shepard served in the U.S. Marine Corps. His hometown, Galena, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Lance Corporal Chad Shepard. He's tonight's four-state hero. The Longwell Museum at Crowder College in Neosho is displaying pieces from its permanent collection. It's titled the Museum Vault Exhibit. The museum is showing artwork it owns rather than pieces borrowed from artists for exhibits.
Well, the exhibition is I think, one of the better ones that we've done in the past because, one, it feels a little bit more kind of cohesive. You know, there's certain periods. There's a section of lithography, and then there's also explanation.
Museum is free, open to the public Monday through Friday. Now, Crowder College recommends everyone wear masks on campus, but masks are not required. You might be awakened by the sound of thunder overnight.
Yeah, especially late tonight into the morning hours. So if you are getting up early, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, it will be a wet, loud, stormy start to the day. Scattered thunderstorms through the morning hours. Again, some of these could be strong, maybe low-grade severe, so we'll definitely keep our eyes on that. 78 tomorrow. Thunderstorm chances stick around tomorrow night and even Thursday night, but the weekend looks fantastic.
I'm going to ask you this before Jacob asks you this. Friday night football.
I think it's going to be okay.
I like to hear that, man. I love it.
Final sports now.
Well, we talked about basketball here tonight. It seems like basketball season is a long ways out, but we're actually going to have local college exhibition games before the end of this month, and then the regular season kicks off exactly 1 month from now for Pitt State and Missouri Southern.
Here it comes. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget our morning show, and let's make it a great tomorrow.
So on service.